ball gets in, another wide open three.
Pierre Cardin.
Defers to Booker for the long range.
P-H-O-E-N-I-X. Phoenix Suns, and you know we up next. Yeah, we working for that championship ring. We the Valley, it ain't nothing but a thing. P-H-O-E-N-I-X. Phoenix Suns, and you know we up next. Yeah, we working for that championship ring. We the Valley, it ain't nothing but a thing.
Welcome, everybody, to the Aussie Suns Fans podcast. I'm your host, Gavin, and, of course, the big three are back. We've got Boyd. Boyd, how you going, mate?
Really good, buddy. And I must say, you're glowing today, Gavin. You look.
Yeah, I've been out in the sun doing my lawn.
Everyone looks and just sounds a little bit glowier right now after that win. Glowier. Crocky.
Glowier. Did we win?
I think so, mate. I fucking think so.
My wife was nagging me to do shit around the house, so I missed half of it. Even though I was over at halftime. And, of course, all the way from Singapore with his LVA hat on, Nate, welcome along, buddy. We missed you last week.
Yes, and thanks to Ash for standing in for me. Such a nice guy. Always got such nice things to say about me. What a gentleman. Love the fella.
Not everybody can be right all the time. So, we do appreciate Ash jumping on last week to cover for Nate, and it's always great having Ash on here. If you are watching live, if you're following along, if you're watching later, hit like, hit subscribe. If you're on YouTube, leave us a comment on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, whatever. Well, I don't even know what you can do these days, but just do it anyway. Please hit the like button. It's not that hard. Unless, of course, you are from Locked On Dubs. I'm sure that you guys really probably aren't potting anymore because your team's a fucking basket case. But if you are and you're on here, maybe go away. Make sure you hit that like. Make sure you subscribe. Do all that sort of stuff, and we can at least then get the message out there a little bit more. For those that are watching, it's time to start plugging it. In 2 weeks' time, we will have the third of our watch parties in Sydney. It will be at the Sporting Globe on Kings Wharf. That's right, Boyd, Kings Wharf.
Sounds about right.
Yep. Plenty of giveaways. I've got a lot of new stuff that we were given from the Suns when I was over there a couple of weeks ago. LVA hats, a couple of bobbleheads, some really, really good stuff that we've got to hand out at that show. The challenge is on for Sydney, right? Brisbane and Melbourne, we had fantastic turnouts. Sydney, you better pull your finger out and make sure you're there. Both Boyd and I will be there. And we're hoping to see as many as we can. Hamo should be there as well. So, yeah, it'll be great to have everyone here. Boyd?
Yeah, it's also great to have Geek in the chat. He's been working hard the last hour and he's jumped straight in here. What a champ.
We love Suns Geek.
Can we shoot hey Gav, can you shoot Geek an invite to jump on with us?
He's just been on a fucking pod for an hour, mate. If you're in the chat, if you want to Geek, if you're in the chat and you want to jump on, just give me a thumbs up and I'll send you a link. But I appreciate that you don't have to. You've just visited to watch us and support us, and then Boyd wants to go, fuck it, he's only been on for a couple of hours. Fuck him, he can jump on again.
He'll be good, man. He'll be good. His eyes on that Suns Jam podcast, the Suns Jam session, they were fucking popping out that screen. They were fucking like emerald, blue, green, shining. His fucking eyes, man. They're beautiful. Anyway, I want to see him again.
Jeepers. Nate,
yes.
Sorry. Suns Geek, you cannot appreciate Boyd. I mean, all he does is whenever anyone says anything nice or does anything on this podcast to wrap up somebody else, he sits there doing this and pretending to vomit, and then he gets on here and talks about your emerald shining eyes.
They're beautiful,
for
man.
fuck's sake, Boyd, you're a disgusting. I'm embarrassed
really
by
pop
you.
Out.
How about some content?
I had the Suns Jam session on on my fucking new big screen. It was it's not that big. It's like 65, 70 inch or something, but bigger than me last telly. And I don't usually watch podcasts live on that big screen, and it fucking like bazinga. It was beautiful.
And you'll notice in the chat that he hasn't given thumbs up because he doesn't want to get on another pod mode. He's had enough. This week, especially this one. This week we played Portland on Monday, 127 to 116 win against their G League team. Sacramento, amazingly, if you were like me and you sat back, watched the game and had Twitter going on the side, you would have thought that the entire town of Phoenix was going to be burnt to the ground by Suns Twitter. And then the complete hypocrisy of the flip on the other side when the Suns started to come back. And it was considered the greatest win of all time. And then today, of course, completely outplaying the Pelicans. A 3-0 week. Boyd, how did you see this week?
I believe I predicted 3-0, mate.
I think everybody predicted 3-0 last week, mate.
Hey, yeah, what a fucking week. Highs and lows, and it's like similar to what were we 2-2 the previous week, I believe, Gavin. But this week, thus far, we are fucking clean sweep. Who cares about the fucking Blazers? We played down to them. We all know that. It was worrying for 3 quarters. It was worrying for fucking that last quarter and the third, I believe. We were fucking handing it to them early, and then they fucking decided to catch us sleeping. Then, against the Sacramento Kings, we just went out there and were lackadaisical. Maybe we thought we'll play in the fucking Trailblazers again. And we got a fucking a rude awakening. It was a stiff uppercut we copped. But what I really enjoyed and what everybody else enjoyed was the fact that we rallied back. We made history in that 22-point comeback with 8 minutes left on the fucking clock. You serious, man? Are you serious, bro? That's what my little 3-year-old says to me nowadays all the time. He's like, "Are you serious, bro?" Watches too much YouTube. That's his problem. But he yeah, man, that was really, really cool. And I was still a little bit concerned because coming into today's game against the Pelicans, because Pelicans have been fucking on one lately. They've been fucking scrappy as fuck. They've been shooting the lights out, and you know they're big inside, and we haven't got much to sort of combat that. And I was, we came out and we did the fucking flip. We did fucking nearly 3 quarters of just fucking Sacramento fourth quarter type play, and then I think we sort of stumbled a little bit in the third and fourth, garbage time included and all that sort of stuff, and we sort of laid back a little bit more. But man, it was fucking good. We were fucking hot as fuck. D booked. As you said, Gav, Devin, fucking money, mate. It was beautiful. It was lovely. Anyway, I've waffled on for about 10 minutes now.
I'm pretty sure you just jizzed in your pants.
It's nice. It's nice to feel consistency. I think you guys will agree. We're hitting some consistency, and it's nice, as per what we've had to put up with this season thus far.
Go get a Kleenex and clean that water off. It's floating around in there. Listen to you guys talk about the predictions last week, and you're all very confident that we'd switch gears after that Lakers win, picking 3 in a row. We went straight there. That Kings game, obviously, worry about hell, what a close. Today, I think the team finally looks like we wanted to see them look all season. And if you look at the standings, the way the game pulled out, we're only 2 games behind the Pels now for 5th spot in the West, and still only 7 out from the top seed. So, it doesn't take much of a run for us to really be in this now. I think everyone's probably already listened to the Jam Session pod, but even John was talking about top 4 finish for this team is not too far out of the question now.
Yeah, it's that Sacramento game. Obviously, it was a real concern coming into last quarter. I sort of during the game, I made a couple of statements that we don't really match up that well with Sacramento, so I was always concerned about that game. And that certainly played out in the first 3 quarters or so. But he's that last quarter, and while we talk about Kevin Durant on offense in that last quarter, and a lot of discussion around what we did, it was the defensive end of the floor. We finally saw that intensity on the defensive end of the floor, and that carried over into the game tonight against the Pelicans. Their shots were contested. We really made sure that we contested all of their shooting tonight, all of their shots, and it was just an outstanding effort. And of course, that's always helped by the fact that we had one dude that went off for 52 points in 3 quarters and shot 60% from the field and 100% from the foul line. But defensively, we were really, really great again tonight. And I think this is the Suns team that we've all been sort of clamoring for, right? Because it made us play faster. When we were strong on the defensive end, we're playing much faster. And I'd love to see our defensive rating over the last week.
I got to say that watching Zion in that game, though, when he had a few minutes there against Nurk, he was just amazing. Like, he's been hurt and injured for so long, and to see that Pels team at full strength and still handle them like that. The funniest part I did, because I watched most of the game. I missed a big part of the Booker explosion, but I listened to the broadcast with the Pelicans broadcast team. Just sometimes it's fun to hear what the other broadcasters say about our team. And when we got to the 4th quarter, they actually made a comment that the Phoenix Suns are the 4th worst 4th quarter team in the league. So we're still in this.
What was
obviously,
the points break?
Obviously, they didn't
Fourth
see the
quarter
Kings game
today.
Hey?
What was the?
What was that?
What was the 4th quarter points for the Pels?
We didn't actually
I'll
go
check
up.
that out. I'll pull it up.
We diminished the lead in the 4th, but it was because we went cleared the bench out.
Yeah,
that's,
they shot a 3 at the end
Pels.
when they shouldn't have. Yeah.
Yeah, that was fucking. Even though we had the game stitched up and everything, I still really enjoy watching the garbage minutes just because of all the speculation around our depth and all these guys that we were fucking frothing over in the preseason. All these great deals that we're getting, these 1+1 contracts, and so I've been keeping an eye on the garbage moments, and I didn't really like the garbage moments today. I thought it was just a little bit okay. We got this. It was
at least the 4th quarter finished quickly without all the timeouts and everything. And a couple more notes I had from the broadcasters. It was actually quite funny listening to them get really upset with their team. At one point, one of the broadcasters is KYP, know your personnel, and he had a crack at his team for rolling onto Josh Okogie with a 26% 3-point shooting percentage and leaving Grayson Allen, the league's 3-point percentage shooter, completely open for a 3. They were just shitting on their own players, it's nice to hear.
and just coach just threw a message up there.
Yeah, I'll leave it. We'll
Leave
do
it?
that in the we'll do that in the mailbag.
Okay, cool. Sorry, coach.
One last comment on the Pels game. At the end of it, the broadcasters even said the scoreline isn't as close as the game really wasn't. I think it was a word for word. It wasn't as close as the score suggests. They knew that.
And that's spot on too. Hey, before we do go ahead any further, those that are in the chat, anyone who's around, if you have any questions or anything that you want to ask the fellas, throw them in the chat, and we'll put them in the mailbag for the segment later on, and I will collate those. You don't have to apologise or say oops there, Evan. Importantly, because we don't know what his opinion is of the game, Suns Geek, what were your thoughts on this week?
This week or this game?
This week, we're talking about all 3.
For those that haven't just listened to you for an hour.
Yeah. Well, first
Well,
off,
you get the whole week now, so it's not just the one game.
I'll just start with tonight's game, and I pretty much, talked about it. It was, with Suns Jam Session podcast, John and everything. And I kind of said this, it was like build off your last game, be better than your last game. And that's exactly what we were, because I'll be real with you guys. I was a little bit negative throughout the first 3 quarters of that Kings game. I was live tweeting. I was part of the toxic Suns fans. I was really negative that night. And then all of a sudden we saw that final 8 minutes, you know what I mean? It just seemed like everything clicked. And even just following it up tonight, like I really hope, fingers crossed, that this was the turnaround point of our season, man. So I'm just glad we are where we are. We just got to keep building off of these last 2 wins. And you know what? I'll take it, man. Devin Booker, 52 points, incredible performance. I'm literally posting a tweet right now because Kevin Durant posted it on his IG story. Posted that. I don't know if you guys can see that, but Kevin Durant posted it because Devin Booker is him.
Yes.
Yeah, and we saw Yusuf Nurkic do the H1M as well tweet. And these guys are supporting each other, and we're starting to see that turnaround. And I think that's the important thing. And we named the show "Is the corner being turned?" and or has the corner turned? I think the Sacramento and we were talking about. I was talking about it with Justin, or we were talking about it on Twitter. Last quarters like that one against Sacramento are the types of quarters that can turn a season. So I was really interested because this was a tough game. The Pels on their home floor is a tough game. And I was really interested to see what the flow-on was because for a couple of reasons. Number one, we had a 3-day break after that Sacramento game. And momentum's an important thing. And effectively 3 days off, I thought, well, all of the momentum that we could have got out of that last quarter can just disappear really quickly. Then we're playing the Pels in New Orleans. Not an easy game. It's a sort of a 1-day trip, or a one-off trip. It's not a road trip for the Suns. It's fly in, fly out. I was interested to see how we backed that one up with tonight, and now I'm even more full of confidence that something triggered in that Sacramento in that last quarter, and has just played out. And we saw how that played out today in the last quarter. Any comments on that?
Real quick, Gavin, I do understand the momentum thing, and definitely the players do as well. But at the same time, players like having days off, especially like
no doubt.
That's really just my comment. It was like players do enjoy it, and you'd be surprised. Like the players don't actually get to practice as much as we think they do throughout the regular season. So even if they just got like a shoot around in, like that really helps the team. But then again, I get it. Like momentum is a thing, you know what I mean? And we're going to need momentum going into the rest of the season because we got a tough schedule.
Yeah, we do. And I heard you guys talking about what's upcoming in the on the Suns Jam session pop there before ours. And yeah, she's a tough run ahead. Nate, Boyd, any comments around that? Yeah, go on.
I actually was at the pub on Thursday afternoon, and there was this old couple in the table next to us, and a few of my boys. They must have been in their 70s. They were from Portland, and they were Trailblazers fans. So we got to chatting about basketball, and the lady had a very strong opinion of Yusuf Nurkic, and she said she was glad to see the back of him. She said he was so lazy, so inconsistent, and I could only say one thing to her. Wait till you see what you got back.
Brandon, I think you were a big pusher of the fact that Nurkic wasn't engaged at Portland because of his his surrounding climate, the shit that he had to play with, and what their direction was over there. So I'm pretty sure you mentioned it a couple of times on a couple of pods, and I think that's just it. It's like, fuck, they didn't know what they had, pretty much, because it was all built around Dame, and it wasn't built the right way. It was
not at all.
yeah. We're seeing now. We're seeing Big Nurk now. Like this is he could have been this with a couple of different moves from Portland. He could have been this there too, but it is what it is. We've got it now. They've got fucking that other big fucking
lazy
Bahamian, that Bahamian fuck. They've got him now. They can deal with the ice problems and ran out of fuel. I broke down. I can't get to fucking work.
On that ice problem, I just had that pop up in Bleacher Report that DeAndre Ayton was out tonight because the roads were frozen. And I'm thinking,
it wasn't tonight.
This was on Thursday afternoon, And they actually defended him. They actually said, "Oh, the ice on the road's a big problem here." I'm like,
well, there was a video going around of Portland, Oregon, and people like walking out the front of their houses and then sliding down their driveways. So it was actually legitimate that there was a big freeze in Portland. But
hey,
there was some funny stuff.
Someone needs to buy him some ice skates, and then he can be Domaskating. Is that
boom.
That's fucking funny, guys. Hey,
skating.
How funny would he look at his size on ice skates?
Just on the Suns defense, Gav, you jumped into the defensive turnaround that we've had, and like you, Nate, I listen to the opposing broadcasters because I watch it on Sportsbet, and you get whatever broadcasters or whoever the home team is, you fucking get it. And yeah, it's not cheap as fuck. But they at multiple times they mentioned Phoenix imposing their will pretty much and not letting the Pelicans get into their plays. And when something started working, they were cutting it off. And I noticed one thing I did notice, because after they started saying that, because I was starstruck and I'm just watching fucking Devin Booker, right? But I started watching the way that the defense, was adjusting on the fly to what the Pelicans were doing. We were creating a lot of their shots, and there just seemed to be a little bit more cohesiveness that we've seen in previous games. And it was just really, that was a big, we turned a big defensive corner, I think, in this game, especially over the span of 4 quarters, not just defending well for 1 quarter, like the Sacramento game, or the Lakers. We probably did a couple of good quarters with switching well and all that sort of stuff. But we've been leaking 3-pointers, right? We've been fucking letting them have it. But and if we do get to a player, we're not fully there, right? We're not fucking really contesting. Now in this game, it felt completely different. It's like we the switching it felt a bit crisper. It felt a bit like they knew there was a certain level of cohesion that I haven't seen. I haven't noticed anyway. I'm a bit dull. I don't know. A lot of things fucking blow past me, but I just noticed that it was just a little bit more crisp, and it wasn't just after a timeout where they've fucking been told. It was on the fly. So it was after a period of play, and there was a change in an offensive set that was getting, that was working for the Pelican, and then we fucking put a stop to it. And I thought that was that was a really good sign for the team as far as team defense. And I haven't really seen it like that crisp really since our boy Jay Crowder was the glue guy on defense. So
preach, Floyd, preach.
I just look at Gav's face. It makes me laugh every time you say Jay Crowder in a positive light.
Jay Crowder.
You messed up the front of your pants, and Gav's just messed up
horribly, horribly overrated.
Like so glad I bought that jersey.
It's like Tyson Chandler, it's he does more than what the stats tell you. He's just
I love Tyson Chandler.
Tyson was great, man.
What he did was dance a couple of times. He danced after we beat LeBron. That's all he did.
That was the dance.
He did nothing else. He'd come out and he'd shoot 0 for fucking 14 and then hit a couple of threes in the next game and everyone would fall in love again. People said he was a fucking hard guy. He wasn't a tough guy. He did nothing tough.
You've had this rant before, Gav.
You have.
I'm going to let it go.
I burnt you down then, and I can do it now as well if you want. Let's not live in
You've never burnt me down. He's not a tough guy. It's like you. He's a fake tough guy. He talks about being tough, and he's not. Anyway, who was your player of the week there, Suns Geek?
Oh, man.
3 games for us, mate. So Portland, Sacramento, and New Orleans.
Well, real quick before I give you guys my player of the week, I'm seeing it in the chat. I'm seeing Coach Evan B and Darth and John talk about it. I completely forgot about the Miami game and the Lakers game as well, because it seems like every game is its own thing. You know what I mean? So it's been a crazy week, but it's been a good week. You know what I mean? But you know what? Player of the week, man, because I was kissing his ass the entire podcast. I've been kissing his ass my last 2 videos. Grayson freaking Allen is my player of the week. Wait, correction here. Future NBA All-Star, future Hall of Famer Grayson Allen is my player of the week. But honorable mention, man, I know he might have had a rough game here and there, but Devin Booker, I'm not just saying that because tonight, but I feel like me personally, I've been sort of overlooking Devin Booker because it's like, you know, I don't know. I just feel like I've been overlooking him. So honorable mention, Devin Booker, but I'm going to go with Grayson Allen.
Nice. I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you, buddy. I've got Grayson Allen down, and I've got 3 reasons. A, for the Kings game. He was the man in that game, 9 threes. For being, and to steal something from you, his professionalism from the last one.
You're listening.
Just for being an absolute professional around trade rumors and just handling that. But the final thing that he said is that he wants to be in Phoenix.
Preach.
We've had so many seasons of people just wanting to get the fuck out. I love hearing people say they want to be there.
Thank you, mate. Thank you.
He's got my player of the week.
Boyd.
Hey, I reckon it's going to be a clean sweep. I don't know about Gav, but hey, we've got Grayson Allen being, although I had money on him today to give us 20, and he gave us fucking at halftime. He had 1 point, and I didn't fucking care too much because he does shit off the ball. When he's not scoring, he's not fucking sitting around doing nothing. He's fucking.
To be honest, when he had 1 point at halftime, I was waiting for Suns Twitter to start talking about the fact that maybe we should be open to a trade.
Oh man, please don't. But yeah, look, he's rebounding. He's moving on offense, which is a big thing for us. We need people moving off of the ball to make the big 3 work, and he does that. So although today it was, I think he still ended up shooting 50% by 3 from 3. He knocked down a couple of late ones, but he, man, he's just always there, and he's a team guy. He's a nice guy. Monty would have loved him. Monty would have fucking, he would have.
Hell yeah, he would have loved him.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, look, I'm going to give it to Grayson. That fucking, I can't believe he hasn't hit that 10 threes in a game.
For
he
real.
had it. Mm-hmm. Oh man, is he the only Suns player in history to have 2 9-3 games?
Yes, he is.
Yes. Well, fuck, man, he's made history for the Suns this week. So I'm going to give it to him, and also his comments about the fans in stadium about, come on, get behind us. I thought he really fucking. Justin, so says Jay, couldn't have said that better in his lawyer fucking thing. He said that in a way that sort of kept the fans on his side, but he's like, fuck up, guys, and fucking and cheer for us more, even when we're shit. Pretty much he said that. And still somehow it sounded like he was saying thank you guys, and it was all fucking peaches. Lovely.
Before Gav talks and maybe ruins the clean sweep, I'm gonna jump in as Grayson Allen's fluffer for a little bit longer. The best bit about watching him play this season is you can still see areas of game. There's so much more room for improvement. Like the guy is actually going to get so much better, and he already looks now this season fucking amazing.
Preach.
My player of the week is Kevin Wayne Durant.
See, that's why I jumped. Got to fluff when you can.
Only because I don't like to give clean sweeps out. I like to give somebody else props. And there's a reason I'm going to give this dude props, and it is his attention to detail on the defensive end. He has absolutely converted the way that we're playing defense over the last week, particularly this week. Against Sacramento, he was absolutely fantastic for all 4 quarters, even when we were sucking the absolute pooch out of the game. He was fantastic. Tonight, he locked Brandon Ingram's ass up.
And that's not easy
locked
to
him
do.
Up. And I will remind people that when we play the Pelicans, Brandon Ingram cooks us. Oh. And tonight, I did not feel Brandon Ingram's presence or CJ McCollum's influence at all. The Suns went, we're more than happy for Zion to take his, but we're going to lock up CJ McCollum and Brandon Ingram. And the key reason for that was Kevin Durant.
Do you remember a few years back, Gav, Kevin Durant was the media's player comparison for Brandon Ingram?
Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely.
Great matchup.
Yeah. Fantastic matchup, and this guy should be getting serious consideration for I'm going to do the Suns fan overreact. Serious consideration for all NBA defensive teams right now.
It's not an overreaction at all.
I think defensively he's been really, really solid all year. It's just it's stood out a hell of a lot more because this is the Suns team that we expected, and Durant has gone to another level again. He's been really solid all year defensively, but this week he's been phenomenal defensively.
Well, he's been willing to. I guess he's always willing, but he got that opportunity to play a bit more of the five. Well, he did that in the fourth quarter against Sacramento, so he's doing it on different levels now. That's standing out a lot, and it was a few weeks ago when we were screaming out for leadership, whether it be fucking verbal type of leadership, whether or it be lead by example. And Gavin, look, I'm not going to shit on you for choosing KD because he's done the lead by example type of leadership, and he's done. It's one thing just to do it, but he's instilled it into other people, not to the same level, but you can see that people are like, fuck, Mr. fucking 35-year-old over there, or 36 or whatever, is fucking doing shit that I should probably
busting his ass.
Yeah. So that aspect of it is a really big thing for me, and well, for us winning games too.
Can we address a couple of things said in the chat?
Sure.
First of all, I'd just like to go, fuck you, John, for the whole coming up short in life thing. I can't help that. Fuck you. But Coach Evan P, let's just talk about the bench points. So clearly the vomit emoji on there suggests that it was a poor performance. But, I mean, I've got a kind of a different take on it, that we've been wanting to see our top five do well. Our rotations slim down. We're not relying on the bench for the points. The last two games have only given us about the same. I mean, I'm not having a shot at him, but I'm not looking at it like it's a bad thing.
I'm sort of with you there, Gavin.
Yeah, I am too.
Yeah,
I'm with you too, Nate. I'm not so concerned about bench points as a whole. I said in the Aussie chat during the week that I'm still not sold on Grayson Allen starting with the current unit. I'd like to see Grayson Allen and Eric Gordon coming off the bench. Still, that's still my preference. Just to add a few of those bench points, and the way that we're playing anyway, there's sort of two of the big three on the court the whole time, which means that whether he starts or not, Grayson Allen's going to get looks, and he's still going to get a run with that unit during the course of the game.
Yeah, his minutes aren't going down, regardless of where he's playing.
Yeah, he's still going to play the same minute.
We largely played a six-man rotation. If you look at the minutes down the line, it's
tonight.
It's the high 30s for the starting five, and I think Eric Gordon was the leading six man. I think he had 20
lineup.
25.
Yeah, he had 26 or 28 minutes or something, and then the other guys had 4, 5. So we really fucking drilled down on that rotation heap. So look, the fact that there wasn't that many bench points is probably a little bit reflective of that in itself. But
and the fact if one player's getting 52, there's not many more to go around.
Exactly. Yep.
if this is what we need, if we need a few games like this just to fucking set the table for the season, I'm happy to see 15 points from the bench in scenarios like this. It's the way that ultimately we want it to be in the playoffs. So yeah, I'm pretty.
I think that's a really important point, because one of the biggest issues I think we had during the playoff run, even last year, was that we played too many guys from the bench. Our rotation was still far too expanded. So we only want to be looking at 7 or 8 in our rotation come the playoffs.
I will say this too, like I know I'm pointing out the obvious here, but there's going to be games where we're going to need our bench and we're going to need that scoring, even if it is just like Eric Gordon, for example. And I'm fine with that. That's why we brought Eric Gordon in, is to score and help us be a leader off the bench. So To an extent, I'm with you. I feel like eventually we're going to be maybe having a conversation. The bench needs to score more. The bench needs to score more. But like right now, I'm fine with it, man. Because I was talking to John about this. Like any points that aren't coming from the big three and Grayson Allen are just bonus at this point. So I'll take it, man.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you look at that 15 points off of the bench tonight would have been 35, 45 points if Bol was playing. If you really fucking drill it, we're missing the fucking.
You just had to get that in for Gav, didn't you? Hey, you just mentioned you were chatting with John, and I just going to make a comment. The Aussies will remember this. You remember it's the fish John West reject that make John West the best from way back in the day.
Yes.
It took me forever as a kid to figure out what that actually fucking meant. But as an adult, I feel like John's comments in our chat are all the reject shit that he didn't want to air on his own pod. So he just jumps into ours and verbal diarrheas the chat.
I agree with you.
He's got to get it off his chest somehow. So where is platform?
Oh, I love it.
That's what this podcast is great for, man. It's a podcast.
It absolutely is.
You know what I mean? Like I can join you guys and just feel relaxed and say some outlandish things I probably wouldn't say on my channel either.
That's what we're here for. We're here for we are the podcasters podcast where the other podcasters can come in here and just say whatever the fuck they want. Question for you guys: How good is it? How good is it that we are seeing? And we spoke about it a couple of weeks ago. I went on a bit of a rant to see Devin Booker back in that role of shooting guard with Bradley Beal playing the point, where Book's first thoughts are attacking the basket and scoring. But if he's caught up, he passes the ball off. We are seeing the return of the attacking Devin Booker, and it's changed the landscape of this team, right? Boyd,
I still feel like he did a lot of the point guard duties tonight or today for us.
He did, but it's a mindset thing, right?
Yeah, it is.
We spoke about the fact that it's a mindset thing.
Yeah, 100%. It is, and look, I think he's broken down a barrier mentally about being the point guard and having to get everyone going. And
that's what we spoke about, right? Yeah. He was in a mindset of, I've got to get everybody else to be involved in the game, where now he's getting his and going, I could still get people involved, but maybe not as – we're not going to get 11 assist a game book, but we're going to get 6 or 7 assist a game book where he still has 35.
In that first quarter, he had 25 points. I think it was 3 assists still, which is
3 assists. Yeah,
it's like it's not like he removed that distributing part from his game. He actually maintained a healthy diet of he fucking feast. He was feasting in that first quarter. He was on.
He just feasted. He just feasted on Pelican in that first quarter. That was all he did.
Pelican must taste great. Never tried it, but it must taste fucking great because the last game back in 2022, that was the last game he played against the Pelicans. Yep. He had 58. And he comes out, he's like, oh yeah, I remember how to get these pricks. Well, fucking, and he gave him 52. Fucking wow.
Jake, what are your thoughts?
First off, he did finish the night with 5 assists for what it's worth, but I 100% agree with you. And it was more about just him starting it all in the first quarter, just being in that attack mode. I don't even know if he knew what passing the ball meant, you know what I mean? Because he was just so locked in. But I'm fine with that, man. Like, because I don't know what your guys' take on it is, and maybe I'll be eating my own words later. I truly don't believe that at least right now we don't need a point guard, because I feel like we have like 3 or 4 point guards, and Devin Booker's averaging like 7.7 assists or whatever on the season. Yeah. I'm like, right now, I'm okay with it. And again, it's just, you said it, man. Like, Devin Booker is a shooting guard, and he was just so locked in tonight. His main goal was to score the ball. And again, he still finished with 5 assists. Like, I'll take it.
Hey,
And we spoke about it over the off season at length, really at length. The fact that and then finally this week, someone from national media came out with JJ Redick on his podcast and went, "The fuck are we talking about point guards?
I've seen
There's
that.
no such thing anymore." And I spoke about it in the offseason, and there really isn't. And Suns fans, I get it. Everyone gets in there and goes, "We really need to trade for a point guard." No, we don't.
Yep.
Our biggest issue was lifting defensive intensity, and we've done that. And the team's different.
I have been the biggest fucking backflipper this season. I was exactly on that train of thought, Gavin.
Fairly standard.
But we've been so inconsistent that, and everyone's jumped in the panic stations, and it's panicked me a little bit too. So I've been there. I was on the fucking jam session saying, "Fucking John Wall's available. He's out there somewhere playing marbles. Can we go get John?
What? And again, why? Like it just
He's playing marbles. Fuck."
You can flip. I know I've said this to you before, Gav. I mean, there's two sides of that argument. We'll call positionless basketball, don't need a point guard, fine. But people saying the big man's dead, we don't need centers anymore 2-3 years ago. And now the big man's returned, and that's one of the most important positions on the team. So, you know, you can say what you want about not having or needing a point guard, but at some point it's going to shift again where we will need exactly what we got Chris Paul for.
Yeah, I don't think from a point guard.
I'm not saying that's this season, but it will shift.
Yeah, we'll keep building from here. I think this is the point now where I'm not too fussed about any trades at the deadline now because we're seeing that consistency, right?
So I know Geek has to leave us in a minute. No, there's a couple of things that I want to get through while he's here. So
go for
the next one that I want to bring up, I'm going just for everybody who's listening, I'm going to upset some people right now. I'm probably going to upset some people on this podcast. I'm probably going to upset some people on this podcast because all you're going to listen to is what I talk about first. You're not going to listen to what I talk about second.
I'll just mute my mic now. Yeah,
just mute because some of you are going to get really upset. The rumors that have been floating around repeatedly about trading Grayson Allen. I need Suns fans to understand something. Grayson Allen is our most valuable asset. Therefore, the rumors are going to exist. And if you're looking at the long-term even the short-term next couple of years, Grayson Allen is an absolute no-brainer to trade. His value is as high as it possibly can be. Absolutely as high as it possibly can be right now. He is a no-brainer. We should absolutely look at trading him because even if we signed him at the end of the year in the offseason to a $15 million deal, it's going to equate to what are they talking about? $80 million? And when you go back and talk about all of the shit that people threw at DeAndre Ayton about getting a big contract, are you seriously, as a Suns fan, going to sit there and go, Grayson Allen's worth $80 million? No, he's not. So he is our biggest trade piece. He is the most common sense trade piece that we have right now for improving this roster if people believe that the roster needs to be improved. Now, before everybody shoots me and people fly to Australia and want to burn my house down and Nate and Boyd cut me off forever, I don't think the Suns should trade Grayson Allen. But we need to stop with the bullshit narrative of what are we trading to change this team when the only thing we can trade is Grayson Allen. We're not getting a massive piece that's going to change this lineup by trading Nasir Little or one of our minimums that we can trade that doesn't have a no trade, blah, blah, whatever. This team is working it out. It took the Clippers 22 games together with their best team to work it out. The Suns are at 12. And in the last 2 games, we've seen the signs of exactly what this team could be. So do I think we should is Grayson Allen our best trade asset? Hell, fucking yes, he is, because he's going to cost us a fortune to keep at the end of the year. Should we trade Grayson Allen? In my opinion, hell no, we shouldn't. I'm happy for the cost to come back. But we've got to stop just thinking that, like I've seen, and so much of it, there's a couple of prominent podcasters that keep getting on and losing their minds on Twitter about anybody who suggests a Grayson Allen trade. Fact of the matter is, that's where the value is. But we're not going to trade him because in 10 games' time, this Phoenix Suns team is going to be on a run of 8, 9, 10 wins in a row, and we're not making changes. So what we have to understand is that by not trading Grayson Allen, we're not making changes. This is our roster. Own it and enjoy it. There's my rant. Geek, I'll let you go first because you're the guest and you're on here.
Amen, Gavin. Well done. I don't even know if I can really say anything, man. Just I 100% agree with you, and it's just like I said. I've said it in 2 different videos. I said it on the Suns Jam Session podcast, and I'm saying it right here on the Aussie Suns Fan podcast. Do not trade Grayson Allen. Just don't do it. That's all I got. I can't top what you just said, man. It was so good.
Oh no, he was wrong on one point.
What's that?
He made the comment when we just spoke about it, Geek, and you agree with me. His value is as high as it can possibly be. This is what you said, Gav. No, it's not. We just got through showing how much more improvement he can make in his game, how much better he's going to get. Everything else.
Okay, so
agree with you.
Do you want to know why? Do you want to know why it's not wrong? Because the trade deadline ends in
February 8th.
Okay.
Gavin.
Yes, boy.
At certain stages of that rant, I thought you were pro trading Grayson Allen. At other stages, I thought you were no way we're going to fucking do it. But here's the thing: he's not only his worth isn't only this year. We're in a position with the second apron that we cannot get a contract the size of Grayson Allen's extension number because of his bird rights, and we can offer him a lot more money. We're not going to be able to garner any contracts like that in the future moving forward. So we've got
absolutely.
If we've got a guy peaking right now and works beautifully with this lineup, we're a contender. So and we're going to be able to turn that into a fucking a prime sized contract. Like his value with a larger contract next year, maintaining this play, is a lot more than what it is right now. Because
I don't disagree with it. I don't disagree with that, right? And that's my point. But my point is, don't lose your fucking minds of people for saying Grayson Allen is a vital trade piece, because he is.
It should be a compliment, if anything. He even said that.
Yeah, absolutely. But I don't want the Suns to look for me. I'm more than happy to jump on with everyone else and go, Matt Ishbia, I don't really give a fuck whether you spend 80 million. Right? But again, it's not my money. It's not your money. It's Matt Ishbia's money.
Yep.
So Matt Ishbia might go, look, I love Grayson Allen, but is he really worth the total of 80 million that I'm going to have to pay? No. Trade him. We can't get upset by that.
He didn't just blow through the fucking second eight, and I'm not saying you're saying that he will. I'm saying Matt Ishbia didn't just blow through the fucking second apron, spend $3.5 billion on a basketball team,
I agree with you.
Dump all this money in, and then stutter.
I agree with you. I agree with you. Ishbia's paying that man.
Luxury tax money.
Grayson Allen's getting paid by the Suns.
I
absolutely agree. Absolutely 100% agree. My point is, let's not lose our fucking minds of people who suggest otherwise.
So you're talking the Suns Twitter.
It is common sense to bring these up. It is absolutely common sense. That's all I'm saying.
I'm guilty of that. Sometimes I get a little defensive on Twitter, and I'm like, "Oh, you're the GM now." You know what I mean? I don't know.
All right, last one.
Hang on a sec. It's not uncommon for teams and especially fans to go, if you've got an unrestricted free agent on in your team with the last season, that you shop him. But we went in this season saying this is an all chips in. This is the season we have to go for it. So you don't go and trade one of your best shining surprises, even just because he's an expiring contract.
He's a massive piece of this team, massive piece. And I think we should retain him. But we can't lose our fucking minds over the fact that, and ultimately, even if they trade him, common sense dictates that really they're doing it for a reason. But I don't think they should, but potentially it could happen because he's the main piece that we have to trade. Anyway, yes, Boyd, quickly.
I was just going to say that the big three bring the best out in Grayson Allen. The gravity that they provide.
Hell yeah, they do. That's why he loves playing for him.
The shots he's getting and the opportunities he's getting, he doesn't get on the fucking Miami Heat.
Yeah,
he doesn't. He doesn't. So.
You're absolutely spot on. It's why he said, "I love playing for this team," because Grayson Allen,
Miami Heat, by the way,
he is working. Grayson Allen is working himself into a fucking bag right now. Just off the back of playing with the big three. So anyway, let's quickly shift a little bit. All of the stuff we've been talking about is All-Star voting. One of the things I want to say before I go in and ask you guys this question is, Suns fans, don't get pissed off that Devin Booker isn't up the top of All-Star voting. The reason Devin Booker's not at the top of All-Star voting is the same reason as he's not at the top of All-Star voting every year, and that is that we are complacent and we don't vote for him until the first fucking release comes out. Then we all get the shits and everybody votes. You're already fucking 100,000 votes behind. So if anybody should be pissed off at anybody for Devin Booker not being well placed in All-Star voting, it's Suns fans. We let that motherfucker down.
Preach.
Who do you think, guys, and we'll start with you, Suns Geek, who do you think from the Suns is going to be in attendance on All-Star weekend? So that means in the game, forget the rookie game because we fucking don't have any. The game, the three-point contest, the skills contest, the dunk contest. Any Suns, anywhere. Who's going to be there?
I know it's the cliche answer here, but it has to be Grayson Allen, obviously, for the three-point contest. And you know what? I don't care what records say. I don't care what fans voting say. It's got to be KD and Booker, man. You got to get them there. They've both been all-stars, and Devin Booker just reminded the entire NBA world that he is an all-star despite fan voting. And also, we know this. We could spend a whole hour talking about it, but fan voting is terrible. It needs to count for less. Like, I know the All-Star game is for the fans, and I love that because I love All-Star weekend, but like, fan voting's terrible. Make it count for less. Let the coaches and media figure it out.
The NBA's been trying to change shit with different alternate ways of doing All-Star game and everything like that. The one thing they've fucked up with is not changing the fan voting piece.
It's terrible, man. That's why Booker's not. And this has been happening for a long time. Booker's always been low in the All-Star votings. It's ridiculous, man.
But it's funny. It's funny, Book gets so many more votes after the first release when Suns fans get the shits that he's not in the top 10. And then we start voting.
Yep.
If it was a presidential election, there'd be a fucking riot.
And Brandon, of course, you said Grayson Allen obviously should be in the three-point contest because Damian Lee was leading the NBA last year. Cameron Johnson was leading the NBA the year before. Neither of them motherfuckers got into the three-point contest.
Exactly.
It is about honestly, the three-point contest, everything about NBA All-Star is about who's going to make the TV turn on.
Yeah.
And it's as simple as that.
Sad but true.
I was about to say exactly the same thing. Like, we had it happen to us last year with Damian Lee, and it wasn't a huge volume that he was shooting, but he was the highest percentage three-point shooter at the time. And,
he ain't selling
and for fuck's sake, Cat was in the three-point contest.
At the end, yeah, exactly. So at the end of the day, what they'll do is they'll send out a fluffy little letter. Hey, if we nominate you, will you say yes? Type thing. And if your Trey Youngs, the Steph Currys, the Klay Thompsons, if all these guys who are the poster children of the NBA three-point game, if they all get invites, they'll get the nod over the current best three-point shooter in the league, Grayson Allen, and he's doing it on volume as well. So I mean, he is it. So yeah, that's exactly what will happen.
It's three times votes today, guys. If you are watching us and you have not voted, go and vote for fucking Devin Booker now. Yes, So you've got Brendan. You've got Book, KD, and Grayson Allen. Boyd.
I've got Book, a late inclusion as always. KD straight off the bat, and I've got Bol in the skills challenge.
Hell yeah.
Mate, I'm not going to take up any more airtime. I agree with everything Suns Geek said.
Yeah, Grayson Allen in the 3-point contest. Books, the coaches and media are putting Book in. He's going to be there, so it'll be Book and KD in the game. Grayson Allen, hopefully, fingers crossed, Grayson. Hope you get into the 3-point contest. It'll be great. And we really don't have anyone who does fancy ass dunks and shit like that, so that ain't happening. But word to the wise, NBA.
Boyd, though,
remind
on the money
when it comes to the dunk contest, you guys have some amazing dunkers in the NBA, and most of those guys are very highly paid superstars. Remind them where they get their money from and make them enter the fucking dunk contest, because Michael Jordan entered dunk contest. So did Dominique. So did Clyde Drexler. So did Kobe. People who why the fuck is Zion, Ja Morant, Ja can't this year, but Zion, Ja Morant, these guys, why are they not in dunk contests? You want people to watch? Put them motherfuckers in the dunk contest and remind them where their money comes from. Last one before you go, Suns Geek. 4 games this week before we pod again. Versus Indiana Monday, Australia time, 12 p.m. Chicago Tuesday, 1 p.m. Dallas, so back-to-back Indiana and Chicago, both at home. At Dallas Thursday, 12:30 p.m. and at Indiana Saturday, 11 p.m. What's our record this week?
2-2. I feel like, because we were sort of talking about it earlier, momentum might come into be a factor there. Plus, like I think a couple of, I'm looking at the schedule right now. I think a few of them are on the road and everything. We got the East Coast trip and all that.
2 at home, 2 on the road.
2 at home, 2 away. The Dallas and Indiana are the first two. This is our longest road trip of the year. Yeah. The longest road trip of the year starts with Dallas and Indiana.
But I will say this, though, even though the Pacers just traded for Pascal Siakam, and I think they're going to have a really good season the rest of the way, maybe it takes them a few games to figure out, so maybe we can jump on them then. And, the Bulls are a wild card. They're obviously not really good. I said at the very end of the podcast tonight that they just straight up need to blow it up. So we could probably get that game. But then, Dallas is a pretty good team. Then we'll play the Pacers again. The Magic are good. The Heat are okay, and then Brooklyn is Brooklyn. So we'll see how the rest of the month goes.
Now, we know you have to head out, mate. Any last comments from you?
Yeah. First off, thank you guys for allowing me just to hop on spontaneously. I do appreciate it. I love working with you guys. And I know I always keep saying this, but I got to get you guys on. You know how it is with scheduling and time zones and everything. Got to get you guys on. But I just wanted to say, keep up the great work, guys. I love what you guys are doing. I've seen you guys have those, the watch parties you guys did and everything. And Gavin, I hope you and your family had an incredible time in Phoenix. I was following all your posts. That's awesome, man. And you guys just keep up the good work. I try to watch as many shows of your guys as I can. I would love to be back on again. So keep up the great work, guys.
You might need to work on one thing, though. If John was on, he would have said cunt by now.
Yeah, that's true.
Hey, before you go, Brendan, what color are your eyes?
Sky blue.
They're stunners, mate. They are stunners. Thank you.
Next time I get on here, I gotta have a beer because I had a Coke tonight. I need beer next time I hop on.
Yeah, I mean, I saw that part of the John was straight on with the beers, and you're on your soft drink.
Yeah, I'm saving it for the trade deadline for All-Star Weekend. You know what I mean?
Thank you so much, Suns Geek, for joining us. If you are an Aussie Suns fans, you're on here checking it out. Check out Suns Geek on YouTube, Twitter, TikTok. Make sure you check it all out. The dude is fantastic, does some great content. We always appreciate you coming on, mate, and we value your input highly. So appreciate it, mate. Thank you.
Of course. Love you guys. You guys take care. All right, we'll talk to you guys soon.
Thanks, bud.
Peace out, guys.
All right, Boyd, record.
Lissy should have birthdays more often, just for the record.
Oh, is that why he wasn't on?
Yeah,
Okay.
his birthday.
Give me 4-0. I'm not worried about the Pacers. I agree with Brendan. There will be a bit of a, growing together type period for this team. So, the Pacers are fucking they're electric.
Same,
But,
same as the Clippers, right? It's going to be 20, and it's the same as the Suns. I'm firmly of the belief it takes 20 games.
And look, here's the thing. I feel like we've made in the last week and a half, we've made massive steps to getting our identity, Gavin. That word that you hate so much. To solidifying our identity. So I think now it doesn't matter if this team X is super long and bothers us. They're going to play to what we put to them. We're going to set the pace of the game, and we're going to be able to do it dominantly, I think. So I'm going 4-0. I'm going 4-0, and
not as long as Bol's dong.
I'm going 4-0 for obvious reasons. I never pick a loss.
Are you going to behave yourself, Nate?
Bol.
I never thought I'd have to kick your ass out for this.
I'm going for a record.
Record this week, Nate.
Well, let's start with the first two. I've got wins at home for the back-to-back with Pacers and Bulls. Pacers aren't ready to beat us. Bulls won't beat us. The Mavs is my first question mark because they do give us trouble. I'm just banking on the fact that it's going to be an angry game because we do fucking hate them. Our players hate them. I think the first one on the road, we do pull the win. I've still got a question mark against the Pacers for the second go-round, though. I don't want to be a Debbie Downer. I don't want to be a Debbie Downer, but I got 3-1 this week.
Fuck.
I am with you, Nate. I refuse to pick a loss to Dallas because if we lose to Dallas, I think I might just Phoenix.
Get on Reddit.
Guys, if you lose to Dallas again, I think I might just fucking kill something. I might just something will catch fire. I don't know. Do not lose to that fucking piece of shit. And I'm talking about Kyrie. But Luke is a piece of shit too. So do not lose to those fuckers. I actually think we'll win both home games. We'll beat Dallas at their stadium, and hopefully Booker will just blow them all kisses. And I'm kind of concerned that we might drop that one to the Pacers.
The last one.
The last one.
Well, you guys
Bol to pull his dong out and play some defense with it. Just whip it round, block the ball.
Hey, nice work, Gav. Nice work. Can you kick yourself out too? Hey, shout out the fucking Lance Jenkinson in the chat. Well, he's not in the chat. I don't know if he's in the chat, but Lance from the association. Thanks for tuning in, mate. I'll have some trade offers for you later. Anyways, Gav, you're back, mate. You kicked yourself out.
I am. I kicked myself out. So we'll move on to mailbag. We've only got 2 questions. If you're in the chat, throw your questions up. If you want us to answer them, they need to go in now because we've only got 2 questions. This ain't going to take long. I don't know where Nate is, but I do like his background, so I'm okay with that. There he is.
Yeah.
He went to get a beer. Question 1, gents. Boyd, we'll start with you. What's happened to Jordan Goodwin?
We don't fucking know. We haven't seen much of him, and his on-off numbers were terrible before he started getting benched. What's happened to him? Like he came out there today in them garbage minutes, and the first thing he does is he jacks up a contested, a really poor shot.
No shit. That's what he's done all fucking season.
Yeah, I know, but he needs to go out in these opportunities that he gets, and he needs to fucking he needs to play the right way. He can't keep fucking doing that. He needs to do what he did in the preseason and be a fucking lightning rod on defense and get fucking 4 steals or whatever. But he needs to get his way back in the rotation that way. What's happened to him? Well, he's just been fucking caught out because this is regular season. It's a tough fucking comp, and he's not a rotation NBA player.
Finally, good to hear somebody else say it. I'm going to go back to my original comments from the first third of the season. Was who fucking cares?
Yeah, good answer. Because he is basically Aaron Holiday. And there's a reason Aaron Holiday didn't play either. Jordan Goodwin, he's got some hustle. We like to see it. But the fact of the matter is, dude shouldn't be playing unless we have injuries. And Frank Vogel's worked that out now. Bon Scott or Brian Johnson? ACDC, Boyd.
Bon Scott.
Nate.
Fucking not a fan of either.
Nate's more into fucking doof music.
Doof, redneck and rap.
It's clearly Bon Scott. Bon Scott's the only answer that's there. Boyd, if you can make a less flashy trade move that was more of a lateral move, i.e. not trading Grayson Allen, which position / role would you be focusing on?
Well, everyone's saying it's the athletic wing, the 3-and-D wing, which would be it's right up there. At the moment, I'm not wanting to make any moves right now, but I'm gonna say it's in the realm of a backup big. And reason being is I don't think it's sustainable with Bol. I think he could go south as quick as he's gone north. And Eubanks is, whilst he was a bit of a he's had a bit of a shit in the nest too, hadn't he? So yeah, look, it's the backup 5.
Didn't even play today, did he?
No, I don't think he did.
As a Buki in front of him,
Bukaki got the minutes today. Yeah, Bukaki. As a Bukaki.
As a Bukaki.
He sort of got found out a little bit today.
Yeah, he did.
He's a two-way player. I mean, but fuck, he came in as big to sort of challenge Jonas Valanciunas, a powerful, fucking like a dominant big. And I think
he's a body.
I think Azubuike's a big body, and we put him in there, but he wasn't as effective as he's been in previous games where he's got to start or some spot minutes. So,
no,
he's good for 5 fouls to throw in fucking front of Giannis.
Yeah, that's it.
Good for that.
I mean, look, my tune hasn't fucking changed. You've got a $6 million contract when there's a little you can float, or you can drop someone off the bench and pick up a point guard that's either in the buyout market, free agency. It's meant to be a non-flashy trade, but I'd still like to see a serviceable point guard on our bench. Whether we use him or not, at least we have him there. Because you guys were all talking about Jordan Gooden being that, and he ain't. He's shit.
Nobody's talking about Jordan Gooden.
Well, the start of the season, you guys all were. But all he did was fucking chuck up threes.
That's bullshit. I never said that.
All right, who you got, Gav? What you got, mate? Come on.
Mine would be to trade some of those minimums, I guess. Sideways move, go after Nick Richards from Charlotte.
Yeah, similar to what
bring in the backup big center. And yeah, that'd be my move at the moment. I'd allow everything else to play out.
Cool.
That fair?
Can I throw a question without notice in?
Sure. Of course you can. You're fucking on the pod. You can do what you like.
This is a good point. Thanks, Gav. Who is the 2024 Marley Hustler Award winner?
Ooh. Gav, you go.
No, you go.
It's an actual tough question because I don't have an answer either.
It's a tough question. I don't think there's any clear standout right now.
Well, right now it's KD.
Oh, ball.
I was going to say KD.
Right now it is KD. And you sort of peg these awards for someone of a.
Actually, no, I'm not. I'm going to go with this one. I'm going to go with Brendan. I think it's Grayson Allen.
Yeah, the Hustle Award's mostly a defensive thing. You know, he's been good defensively, but he hasn't been a point of attack defender like KD.
The Hustle Award is not just defense. It's hustle.
That's what
It's
I
just
look at.
because the last two stars, like in Okogie and
Dan
Bridges,
Marley
known
wasn't
for the defense. You know.
Yeah,
Your Dan Marley didn't play offense. He's, according to Nate, he's the greatest 3-point shooter in Suns history.
Well, for mine, I associate the Hustle Award to scrappy defenders. So, and I would usually say if Josh Okogie was at his normal point of attack on defense self and not playing himself off the floor by horrible fucking offense, I would say Josh Okogie type. But right now, I'll say KD because he's fucking doing it for us right now.
I'm gonna go Grayson Allen.
Okay.
At the moment.
Okay. I won't cry now.
All right, we're gonna move into Who Am I? Boyd is now in the lead, which is sad.
I suck at this.
So chat, we need you to lift because there is a multitude of you guys.
Who's coming second?
You should be winning this. The chat.
It ain't fucking me. I know that much.
Fuck you, chat. There's only me and this beating coming second to one guy.
They only need 2 points. The chat only needs 2 points to overtake you again. The only reason you're in front is because you got 5 last week.
I've got the last 3 in a row.
Yeah, but you got like 2 points and fucking 3 points, and then you got 5. All right, you're going to show me what's up.
To be fair, he barely beat Ash last week.
I probably won't.
He barely beat Ash last week and barely beat the chat last week. Okay, for 5 points, I played from 2001 to 2020 for 9 NBA teams. Remember, if you answer incorrectly, you are disqualified until the end of the next round.
Vince Carter?
Channing Frye.
Incorrect and incorrect. You are both to the end of the round. Chat, if anyone wants to have a go, you've got about 5 seconds. And if somebody tries to have a go and they lose, they go to the end.
Oh, yeah, because Vince Carter was in the 2020.
And the chat is now at the end as well. So everyone's back in. You can answer at any time. I was drafted by the Los Angeles Clippers with the 2nd pick in the 2001 NBA draft.
2nd pick in the 2000 and what? 2001?
1. Anybody want to have a go?
Who did the chat luck out on?
So
Crawford and Jay Crossover.
Ah, okay.
So it's just you and me in this round, yeah?
No. They were the last round. So they're fine.
Cool,
the chat can have a go too. Nobody's having a go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I won 1 NBA championship. I was an NBA All-Star and an NBA Defensive Player of the Year. The chat is now disqualified until the end of the next hint. It was not Tim Thomas.
Why am I not getting this? Played for the Suns.
Either of you want to have a go at this?
No, I'm still out for now.
Nate? No.
No.
I was traded immediately after being drafted to the Chicago Bulls for the former number 1 pick Elton Brand.
Oh, yeah. Fuck. The guy with the wore the headband. Malice at the Palace. Was he in that? No, he wasn't. Oh, fuck.
Well, I will remind the chat they are disqualified until the end of this round.
Tyson Chandler.
It was Tyson Chandler.
Wasn't Melbourne, fellas?
Boyd, 2 points for you.
Thanks.
The last hint was I wore number 4 for the Suns and played from 2015 to 2018.
That would have got me because I've got
And
his
it was
fucking
Tyson
jersey.
Chandler.
That was a
Hey,
tough one. And
that was a good one, right?
Tyson Chandler.
I know. I was. Do you know how bad I wanted to go? Hey guys, you were speaking about him earlier in the show.
Exactly.
Hey Boyd,
I would kill everyone in this room for a drop of sweet beer.
So, Homer, please feel free to tell us anything.
who do you want to have a beer with, Boyd?
Who do I want to have a beer with? Fuck me. Well, I kind of want to have a beer with fucking John Bloom. And I know
Been there, done
it's
that.
fucking old news. It's old news for you.
Actually,
Gavin.
I didn't have a beer with him. I had several old fashions with him.
And it was because of when we got on that call and you sort of fucking shitbagged me to him, and I just want to fucking set the score fucking right. I want him to know that I'm not a cunt. I'm not a bad fan.
How are you going to prove that?
His opinion of me means a lot, and it keeps me awake at night. And I want him to not think I'm a.
He does think you're a cunt too. All I know is that in June, Nate, you and I will go and have a beer with Bloomer because Boyd won't come.
I might.
Nate, who do you want to have a beer with?
Bol beers. No. Mine's John Voider. Just the production quality on the Jam Session pod, something we could strive to achieve, but we don't come close.
Did you see their pod the other day? They did it from their car. All we were looking at was fucking Matt Listy's groin.
It was pathetic. My 3-year-old could have done better. Fuck.
Yeah, well, that was the last pod. This pod today, when the studio's working, John's on point. Sun Geek came in. The quality of the pod was brilliant. So Voider's got my beer for the week.
All right. Who's yours, Gavin?
So
That was a
gay.
shit one.
That was fucking terrible. I'm gonna follow the trend of my beers when it comes to promoting the watch parties, and I am going to say I cannot wait to have a beer with everybody in Sydney who comes along to our watch party to watch the Suns take on the Atlanta Hawks. I'm looking forward to it. Make sure you get along. Make sure you have a beer with us. You can have a beer with me. I'm sure I'll buy you a beer. You can have a beer with Boyd. I'm sure you'll buy Boyd a beer because he won't fucking buy his own. Boyd.
Time for the flog of the week. And trust me, they are ugly. Very unattractive. Google their face when you're done here.
Who's your flog of the week, Boyd?
My flog of the week. I want to pick someone from this week's games, and it's going to be straight off the cuff. It's going to be DA for fucking skipping out on that game, and I wanted to see us dominate him. I wanted to see us dominating. So it's fuck, man. Like Kobe took a helicopter everywhere. You're making around about the same money that your $30-something million. That's about what he was getting. So come on, man. Get a chopper. Get to the chopper. Get to the game, man. Your team fucking needs you. We all know that. Fuck.
Nate.
My flog of the week is Indonesian immigration for not adding their code to my APTC travel card yet, because I'm sick of paying $50 every time I go to Batam for the weekend.
That's very personal. It's not NBA related. But,
Doesn't need to be.
Thanks.
Doesn't need to be. It's just flog of the week. Remember when Voider came in, his flog of the week was Phoenix traffic.
At least it's in Phoenix. I mean, fuck.
Oh, my God. My flog of the week, and this, I've got two, right? So I'm going to start with the first one, just to upset Boyd. My flog of the week, my first flog of the week is Grayson Allen. Don't fucking spray the Suns fans for being upset with the fucking pissant performance you put on for 3 quarters. Of course they were upset. You were getting fucking pummeled. But you want to know what the Phoenix Suns fans did in the last quarter when you guys actually played basketball? They rallied and they supported you and they went fucking nuts. That environment in that last quarter would have been fucking insane. But who's cheering a team getting fucking pummeled into oblivion?
Oh, fucking probably Suns Tutu fan, armband guy.
Number 2.
Dude.
Don't shit on the fans,
Number
Boyd.
two.
Fuck.
Number,
I said they're
number
probably
2.
cheering when we're down. That's what I'm saying.
Oh,
They're
right.
probably-
I was going to say fuck.
I just, to be honest, I only did that one just to annoy Boyd. But
You cockhead.
number 2,
Goal
number
achieved.
2 is along this line from Coda Kid. But it's not the people who vote for Ja Morant. I'm going to go back to the first time I really realized that the NBA allowing fan votes to fucking count pissed me the fuck off, which was when Kobe did his fucking Achilles and was the top vote getter, and he could not even play in the fucking game. Now Ja Morant sits above fucking Devin Booker in the voting. The dude can't play.
What is he up to? 3 games for the season?
There is. Number 1, the dude missed 25 games for suspension because he fucking ran around threatening to shoot fucking people.
So who's your flog?
The NBA.
Okay.
Number 2, you put qualifications on players to win MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, Rookie of the Year, make all NBA teams, do all that, but you can't put qualifications on fucking NBA All-Star voting? This motherfucker right here, Ja Morant, should not even be an option to vote for. Get your shit in order. Either fuck off fan voting or just, like, get rid of these guys, people like Ja Morant, who should not in any way, shape, or form after fucking 4 games, nobody should be able to vote for this cunt.
You can't get rid of fan voting, Gavin. This has been a fucking poor flog of the week for you, and you've had 2 shots at it.
Is it? That's your best. That's your best, is it?
Fucking hell, yeah. It was one of my best.
Okay.
Hey, yeah, just fucking be better next week, bro. Fuck.
Well, my flog of the week was fucking way better than yours. Actually, both of mine were so much better than yours.
Thomas Skaten.
That wasn't your flog of the week, but, it should have been. Because Thomas Skaten was quality. That's the only fucking value you've added to the entire show.
Thanks, mate.
The only reason you got the "Who am I" is because you looked at the chat.
I haven't even got the chat up.
You have added 0 value. Nate, thank you for being on here and fucking adding some sort of value.
Been my pleasure, sir.
We're not doing the stock market this week because I think we've just gone over everyone.
Yeah, we've gone long enough
repeatedly. So the stock market will be back, but we're going to give it a couple of weeks and see what happens there. Sydney, the watch party, 3rd of Feb, 11 o'clock, King Street Wharf, Suns versus the Hawks. Boyd and myself will be there. Bring extra money because Boyd's never bought a beer for himself or anyone else. Make sure that you're there. We absolutely, actually, I agree, Midge. Nate's stocks have gone up. Boyd's have plummeted.
Thanks, Midge.
We will be there. We will be showing out. We've got so much shit to give away from the Suns. Make sure you're there. Make sure you enjoy it. Boyd, last comments. Where can we find you?
You can find me at Fucko on a mystery platform. You can find me at Buds83 on Twitter, on Threads, I think, as well, maybe. Yeah, that's it, man. Just come say hello.
No comments?
No comments, no. I'm good.
I'll make a comment about
you don't want people to come and say hello to you in Sydney or anything like
Sydney,
that?
Yeah. You've just fucking shitbagged me for the whole Sydney thing. I was going to buy you a couple of beers for putting me up in accommodation. But now
That'd be fucking nice.
After, well, that's something I was going to do. I'm a nice guy, but after your fucking performance, today on this podcast, look, you're going to put me up in accommodation. You're going to shout me an Uber to the fucking airport afterwards. Thank you.
I'm not.
And you can buy me a couple of beers too, to boot.
I fucking certainly cannot. Nate, where can we find your last comments, Nate?
Well, where you can't find me is being a cheap cunt, like our friend here. You can find me at Nicky's Falcon on the socials. I am quite down that I'm not going to make the next watch party. I managed the Melbourne and the Brisbane one. They were so much fun. I had an absolute blast. So if you manage to stream it or some kind of live stream, I will get on just to participate.
We'll be there, mate. We'll be there. There'll be something happening. We'll get on. We'll get online at some stage. I might even get Boyd to FaceTime you, although it might cost him money on his fucking mobile phone plan. So I might have to do it.
I might hotspot off you, Gav. Yeah, we'll do something. We'll work something out.
Follow us at Aussie Suns Fans. Follow us on Twitter, YouTube, all that sort of shit. Follow, like, subscribe. Don't be a fucking piece of shit. Do it. We need it. Rock up to the watch party. We need your support. Sydney, we need you to be there. We need you to show out. So be there. The first two were fucking amazing. What was that, Nate?
And the All-Star votes. Even though the NBA's flogs, it's not changing.
Yeah, vote. Fucking vote. Just get on and vote for Devin Booker. Show out. That's what we need. Ultimately, when we rock up to Sydney, Boyd, we're going to have one more podcast before then to reach out to all these people, the beautiful people that follow us. Beg them to come along, join us for beers and to watch the Suns. We are 0-2 at watch parties for Suns record, by the way.
Fucking terrible.
So we need people to show out so that the Suns can win a game while we're at a fucking watch party. But ultimately, when we do rock up to Sydney, the one thing that we can guarantee is we are not going to be there to fuck spiders.
Nope. Chris Paul gets in. Another wide open three.
Pierre Cardin.
Defers to Booker for the long range.
Phoenix. Phoenix Suns, and you know we up next. Yeah, we working for that championship ring. We the Valley, it ain't nothing but a thing. Phoenix. Phoenix Suns, and you know we up next. Yeah, we working for that championship ring. We the Valley, it ain't nothing but a thing.